Hi, welcome to She Spice. Jay-Z is enraged, and he's letting everybody know it with reports whirling about spilled films, including Beyonce. What's more, Diddy, the normally made investor, is purportedly losing his cool. Is there a video out there that could shake the underpinning of music's generally strong couple? And exactly what does Diddy need to do with this word? Their once close kinship might unwind with Diddy's legitimate woos pulling in additional names than anticipated. You said we are not finished also, that Brushes didn't do this by itself. Do you predict that there could be other charges connected with this case? I'm not forgetting about everything except the genuine inquiry everybody is posing about how far Jay-Z will go to stay quiet about this. Furthermore, exactly how muddled might this at any point get for Beyonce's picture? Reports have been whirling for a really long time about the rough dynamic between Jay-Z and Diddy. Once seen as music's power couple, their relationship has purportedly soured, with ongoing claims proposing Diddy's scandalous oddity off gatherings could be the reason, and presently there's discussion that Beyonce herself may be involved, whether purposely or unconsciously. The subtleties are dinky. What we cannot deny is that Jay's isn't cheerful. Sources near the circumstance say that Jay has been in harm control mode, calling powerful legal counselors and media overseers to sort out some way to deal with the expected aftermath of this alleged film, yet it doesn't stop there. Jay-Z has evidently likewise been removing himself from Diddy in public, maybe as a method for safeguarding the two, his picture and Beyonce's, and we should not fail to remember these two aren't simply companions, they have histories. Jay-Z and Diddy have teamed up on projects, shared common associations, and gone to similar selective gatherings. It's 2020, you all, and it's not the same as when it was 2016. You realize the game has been raised. Be that as it may, could Diddy's defeat mean something bad for Jay-Z? Also, Diddy's new capture has totally exposed a hidden world that many accepted was only a legend party that purportedly elaborated some of the greatest names in the business, from tapes to coerced dangers. It's no wonder Jay-Z is scrambling to keep his distance. A few reports even propose that Jay-Z's legitimate group is planning the most exceedingly terrible. Assuming any recording, including Beyonce, surfaces, it could mean ruin not only for their relationship yet for their image. Also, the stakes are higher than any time in recent memory. With the federal authorities researching Diddy's long history of affirmed crimes, and keeping in mind that Jay-Z has figured out how to keep his own name moderately spotless in the public eye, this could change all that. Beyonce has continuously been the embodiment of elegance and protection. However, assuming there's one thing the public loves more than her music, it's the show. And kid, has there been dramatization encompassing her previous exhibitions? Take, for example, that unbelievable 2005 BET Grants second where Beyonce performed with Terrence Howard. Fans actually recollect the dramatic science and intrigue speculations about a potential association between the two have waited from that point onward presently. Quick forward to now, and individuals are murmuring regarding Beyonce's name being hauled into Diddy's oddity off embarrassment. Is there really a film of her at one of Diddy's gatherings? Was she even mindful of what was happening around her? So far, no one has seen the supposed film yet, and that hasn't prevented the web from conjecturing. Jay-Z and Beyonce have been an image of solidarity and power for a really long time. They've endured bamboozling embarrassments in public examinations, and all the more yet, this may be their hardest test yet. There's discussion. Jay-Z looking for legitimate guidance, not only for harm control, but for something greater division. A few insiders are even estimating that Jay-Z has been counseling both criminal safeguards and separate from lawyers. Could Diddy embarrassments be causing a break between music's power couple? And if Jay-Z is without a doubt counseling with separate from lawyers, what could that mean for the future of their billion-dollar domain? Might we at any point be seeing the start of the end for the Carters? Diddy's oddity off parties have for some time been a wellspring of debate, with murmurs regarding what happened behind shut entryways becoming increasingly loud presently with his new capture. It appears as the fact of the matter is at long last becoming exposed, and what's more, there are tapes of genuine implicating film that could uncover Diddy as well as all interested parties. Combs supposedly arranged and controlled the exhibitions that he called, and he frequently electronically recorded them. It's supposed that Jay-Z and, furthermore, Beyonce are among the names that could be connected to these gatherings, and if any of that recording spills, it would be a PR bad dream for the Carters. However, Jay-Z isn't sitting around idly for that to occur. He's supposedly taken forceful legitimate moves toward guaranteeing that any recording, including Beyond ones, stays covered forever. Jay-Z is no more unusual to contention, except for with regards to Beyonce. He's taking things to an unheard of level as per reports. Jay-Z is taking out all the stops to ensure that anybody liable for this recording pays the value, whether it's news source insiders or even Diddy himself. Jay is taking actions to guarantee that nobody plays with his family, and it appears as though his power moves are now working. A few sources report that individuals close to Diddy are starting to backtrack, reducing most, if not all, connection with the embarrassment, furthermore, apprehension about Jay's rage. However, Diddy's freak-offs aren't the main foreboding shadow looming over Jay-Z and Beyonce's marriage. We should not fail to remember the old bits of gossip encompassing Beyonce and Sean Paul during their Child Kid music coordinated effort. It's been almost 20 years since Child Kid dropped, yet the reports still twirl in a meeting with the day-to-day monster. Sean Paul tended to all the buzz that has been drifting around since the mid-2000s. And no, on the off chance that you're pondering, nothing at any point occurred between him and Beyonce. When inquired as to whether they were of all time connected, Sean Paul ignored it, saying, "Nah, I wish I did. She's wonderful." He additionally explained that they were performed as child kids together multiple times, ever multiple times, and that is all there is to as child kids together, multiple times, ever multiple times, and that is all there is to clearly. They didn't hang out a lot in those days either, as per Sean. Beyonce was at that point effective with Predetermination's kid, and keeping in mind that they shared the stage a couple of times in the Caribbean, their ways didn't cross much past that yet. Here's where it gets succulent. Sean Paul says Beyonce, as a matter of fact, faced him about the bits of gossip that they were something beyond associates. This was just after the Child Kid video dropped, and obviously the murmurs were becoming excessively clearly for her to overlook. He reviews the second when, behind the stage at the EMTV Europe Music Grants in 2003, Beyonce pulled him to the side and said, "I want to address you." Sean Paul claims Beyonce was pissed and asked him straight up what was the deal with the reports. He said, "I'm not uttering a word, but rather Beyonce clarified those tales were playing with her profession, and she wasn't cheerful about it. He demands he didn't begin the tales." However, after that conflict, things began to get peculiar between them. He estimates it could have had something to do with her and the e-board. I mean, the music business is known for its theatrics, right? What's even more insane is that Sean Paul saw odd things occurring during their exhibitions together at one show. The swarm went wild when he joined Beyonce in front of an audience for a child, but he rapidly acknowledged something was off. The energy just dropped, and his band was incensed a short time later in light of the fact that they couldn't hear his mic at all. Maybe somebody cut his sound deliberately, or something more. Sean then, at that point, portrayed one more execution in Scotland, which took things to an unheard of degree of off-kilter. During their practice, all that appeared all good. They had a sensational stage arrangement, with the two of them coming up from under the stage encircled by fire sounds epic. Right, however, at the point when the defining moment came, the track just continued to rehash Child Kid, you stay Child Kid, you stay again and again. Sean Paul was remaining there mid-execution thinking about what in blazes was continuing at this point. Here's where the Jay-Z show comes into play. There was a ton of prattle back in the day that Jay-Z, who was at that point dating Beyonce at the time, was behind these odd sound issues since he was desirous. Might you at any point fault him that science among Beyonce and Sean Paul in the Child Kid video was unquestionable, yet Sean shut down those bits of gossip, saying it's basically impossible that Jay-Z was involved since he wasn't even at a porting on of these exhibitions. Still, the tattle persevered. Furthermore, things got much more abnormal. At the 2003 MTV VMAs, Sean Paul should perform Child Kid with Beyonce. However, unexpectedly, he wasn't essential for the ACT. He sat in the crowd with his better half watching Beyonce perform the melody they made well known together. Even Paris Hilton, who was sitting before him, turned around and inquired as to why you weren't up there, envisioning the humiliation after that VMA scorn. Sean Paul was expected to perform with Beyonce once more in Washington, D.C. Yet by then, he'd had enough. He sat around idly for quite a long time. As it were to be informed, there were a huge number of individuals hanging tight for him to play out the tune. His reaction: there were 50 million individuals watching the VMAs. I'm not doing it, and with that he left. That was the last time they performed Child Kid together. However, here's where it settles the score spicier. There were reports that Jay-Z seriously he hated Child Kid and could have done without how long Beyonce and Sean Paul were spending together. Sean even kidded on a public broadcast that he needed to utilize a little tact while recording the track, since it was clear Jay wasn't excited about the circumstance. When I got there the night prior to the video. Subscribe She Spice for more videos.